HCI, the interaction, how we talk to computers. Hey everyone, welcome back! So far in our HCI series, we've studied the two main characters in our story, the human and the computer. But what happens when they meet? That's where the magic can, sometimes the frustration happens. That meeting is what we call the interaction. Today, we're going to figure out why some interfaces feel intuitive and others make you want to pull your hair out. We, use simple models to understand this conversation and look at the different languages or styles we use to talk to our machines. Let's dive in. The goal in the gulfs. Let's start with a simple, real-world example. Imagine your goal is to make a cup of coffee. Your goal is the delicious coffee. The task is the sequence of actions you take to get it. Grab a mug, add coffee, add water, press brew. Now, imagine you're faced with a super high-tech, complicated coffee machine with 100 unlabeled buttons. This is where Don Norman's famous execution evaluation cycle comes in. He says, interaction has two big parts. One, execution. You trying to do something to the machine? Two, evaluation. You figuring out if it worked? The problem is the gulf. The gulf of execution is the gap between what you want to do and what the system allows you to do. On the confusing machine, you want to start brewing, but you have no idea which button is the brew button. The gulf is huge. Then, after you press a random button, the gulf of evaluation is the gap between the system's new state and your understanding of it. The machine might beep, but does that mean it's heating up? Is it broken? You have no idea if you're closer to your goal. Good design narrows these gulfs. A simple machine with one big, clear start button makes execution easy. A clear progress bar showing brewing, ... 50% makes evaluation easy. The interaction framework, a conversation in translation. To understand this further, let's use the Abowd and Beale framework. They see interaction as a conversation where four things need to talk to each other, each with its own language. Let's go back to a digital example. Printing a document. 1. USCR language goal. I want a paper copy. 2. Translation 2. Input language action. You move the mouse. Click File. Then click Print. You've translated your goal into actions the computer understands. 3. Translation 2. System language process. The computer takes your click and changes its internal state, preparing the document for the printer. 4. Translation 2. Output language display. The system shows you a print dialog box with printer options. 5. Back to USCR, language evaluation. You see the dialog box and think, okay, it's ready for me to choose a printer? Good. When an interface is bad, it's like a bad translator. You say print, and it hears paint. The translation breaks down between these steps. Good UI design is about being a great translator. Interaction styles. The computer's personality. So, how do we have this conversation? This is where interaction styles come in. They're like the computer's personality. Command line interface. C. L. This is like giving orders to a very precise but strict robot. You have to use exact syntax. Delete file. TXT. Powerful for experts. Terrifying for beginners. Oh, example? Telling a smart speaker, play album X by artist Y on speaker Z. It's a verbal command line. Menus. A restaurant-style interface. You don't have to remember everything. You just recognize what you want from a list. This greatly reduces memory load. Oh, example. The settings menu on your phone, natural language. The dream. Talking to the computer, like a friend. Hey, can you show me that funny cat video from last night? The problem, it's vague. What if you watched 10 cat videos? Form fills. Exactly what it sounds like, filling out a digital form. Perfect for entering data like your shipping address on a website. WIMP. Windows, icons, menus, pointer. This is the classic desktop environment you're probably using right now. Windows, Mac OS, Linux. It's a direct manipulation style. You point at things and manipulate them on the screen. Point and click. The language of the web and multimedia. You click a link and something happens. It's simple and intuitive. 3D interfaces. This includes virtual reality, but also the subtle 3D shading on buttons that makes them look precisable. It tries to mimic the real world. Conclusion and recap. So, let's bring it all home. Interaction is a cycle of communication. We have goals, and we perform tasks to achieve them. Norman S. Golfs remind us to design interfaces that make it easy to act and easy to understand. The Abowd Beale framework shows us that interaction is a chain of translations between the user and the system. And the interaction style, we choose menus, commands, etc., determines the flavor of that conversation. The key takeaway, as designers or even as critical users we can now spot why an interface is frustrating. Is the gulf of execution too wide? Is the translation broken between input and system? By understanding the models of interaction, we can build and demand better, more humane technology. That's it for the interaction. Next time, we'll dive deeper into how we design for these principles. If this helped you understand how you talk to your devices, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Let me know in the comments what an interface you find particularly easy or difficult to use, and why. Thanks for watching.